AI will destroy humanity. We had nuclear bombs, which could potentially destroy civilization, obviously. We have AI, which could destroy civilization. We have global warming, which could destroy civilization, or at least severely disrupt civilization. Digital intelligence will exceed biological intelligence by a substantial margin. It's obvious. We're not paying attention. We worry more about what name somebody called someone else than whether AI will destroy humanity. That's insane. We're like children in a playground. Humanity really is not evolved to think of existential threats in general. We're evolved to think about things that are very close to us, near term, to be upset with other humans, and not to really to think about things that could destroy humanity as a whole.
Excuse me, how could AI destroy civilization?
You know, it would be something in the same way that humans destroyed the habitat of primates. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be destroyed, but we might be relegated to a small corner of the world. When Homo sapiens became much smarter than other primates, it pushed all the other ones into small habitats. They're just in the way.
Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways?
You could make a swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones and having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed. Right now. Probably a bigger risk than being hunted down by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda. That would not seem like propaganda.
So these are deep fakes.
Yeah, influence the direction of society, influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better. Within milliseconds, it can adapt its message and shift and react to news. And there's so many social media accounts out there that are not people. Like, how do you know it's a person, not a person?
One reason that regulators and others are a little bit in denial about this is the speed, the pace of change. What is the consequence of that speed of change?
The way in which a regulation is put in place is slow and linear,
Right.
and we are facing an exponential threat. And if you have a linear response to an exponential threat, it's quite likely the exponential threat will win. It scares the hell out of me. We will be left behind by a lot. AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda. I try to convince people to slow down AI. It's too late.
We've heard Elon warn us about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence on several occasions, which, according to him, could potentially destroy the entire human civilization. For instance, when Elon was invited to the SXSW annual conference, Elon broke his silence on AI for the first time, stating that AI could potentially be more dangerous than nuclear weapons if its development is not regulated. Take a look.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
Elon expressed his reservations on AI development when he appeared at the Recode conference.
I am concerned about certain directions that AI could take that would be not good for the future. I think it'd be fair to say that not all AI futures are benign. Not all.
Okay.
And so I think it's important, if we have this incredible power of AI, that it not be concentrated in the hands of a few and potentially lead to a world that we don't want.
He stated that artificial intelligence might exceed us in every way, therefore we should make sure that it is benign. Take a look.
If you assume any rate of advancement in AI, we will be left behind by a lot. And so then we could be in benign, but even the benign situation, if you have if you have ultra intelligent AI, we would be so far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was
like
thinking.
A pet.
Like a cat.
Like a cat.
Elon
like
the
a house
cat.
cat. Yeah, it would be like the house cat.
Right.
And so if you have something, if we create some digital superintelligence that exceeds us in every way by a lot, it's very important that that be benign.
In another interview with CNN Business, Elon explained that AI is developing at a much faster pace than anyone realizes, and therefore we should be proactive towards it rather than being reactive. Check it out.
AI is much more advanced than people realize, and the pace of progress is much greater than people realize. It'd be fairly obvious if you saw a robot walking around talking and behaving like a person, you're like, whoa, that's like, what's that? That would be really obvious. What's not obvious is a huge server bank in a dark vault somewhere with an intelligence that's potentially vastly greater than what a human mind can do. I mean, its eyes and ears would be everywhere. Every camera, every microphone, every device that's network accessible. That's really what AI means. It's not like a robot running around. The robots would simply be, they'd be like a finger of the AI.
In conversation with HBO, Elon explained that besides the threat of AI weapons, another threat posed by AI is data manipulation. For instance, the advanced AI could manipulate the results of elections and hence start worldwide disputes.
Probably a bigger risk than being hunted down by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda. That would not seem like propaganda.
So these are deep fakes.
Yeah, influence the direction of society, influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better. Within milliseconds, it can adapt its message and shift and react to news. And there's so many social media accounts out there that are not people. Like, how do you know it's a person, not a person?
He also pointed out that the conventional approach of regulated things won't be effective for AI, and hence we need to take immediate action.
The way in which a regulation is put in place is slow and linear,
Right.
and we are facing an exponential threat. And if you have a linear response to an exponential threat, it's quite likely the exponential threat will win. That, in a nutshell, is the issue.
When the interviewer asked Elon how AI could destroy humans, Elon responded by giving us a very interesting yet scary analogy. Take a look.
We have AI, which could destroy civilization.
Excuse me, how could AI destroy civilization?
It would be something the same way that humans destroyed the habitat of primates. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be destroyed, but we might be relegated to a small corner of the world. When Homo sapiens became much smarter than other primates, it pushed all the other ones into small habitats. They're just in the way.
In another interview with Y Combinator, Elon said that even if advanced AI does not develop its own will, it could be very dangerous because it could get stolen by someone and used unethically.
It's not as though I think that the risk is that the AI would develop a will of its own right off the bat. I think it's more, that's the concern is that someone may use it in a way that is bad. And even if they weren't going to use it in a way that's bad, that somebody could take it from them and use it in a way that's bad. That's very dangerous. It could also get stolen by somebody bad, like some evil dictator of a country could send their intelligence agency to go steal it and gain control. It just becomes a very unstable situation, I think, if you've got any incredibly powerful AI. You just don't know who's going to control that.
Elon has suggested the machine-brain interface as a means to merge AI with humanity. He believes that this is the only solution to address this threat. Take a look.
I think it's to essentially, I think one of the solutions that seems maybe the best one is to have an AI layer. If you think of like you've got your limbic system, your cortex, and then a digital layer, sort of a third layer above the cortex that could work well and symbiotically with you. Long-term aspiration for Neuralink would be to achieve a symbiosis with artificial intelligence and to achieve a sort of democratization of intelligence such that it is not monopolistically held in a purely digital form by governments and large corporations.
Basically, an effort for man to merge with machine in a healthy way.
Yes.
To beat machines, you basically have to merge with machines.
Most likely, yes. essentially, how do we ensure that the future constitutes the sum of the will of humanity? And so if we have billions of people with the high bandwidth link to the AI extension of themselves, it would actually make everyone hyper smart.
Okay, so
This is very esoteric.
yeah, no, but you say this is more psi than phi, so you believe we're headed this
I
way.
believe this can be done. It's really all about laying the groundwork to make sure that if humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully. In the future, you'll be able to save and replay memories. I think almost all cars produced will be autonomous. I don't think we're going to have a choice. The future is going to be weird.
In conversation with Joe Rogan, Elon made an astonishing prediction, stating that with the help of his Neuralink device, humans won't need verbal communication to talk to each other anymore. Hence, all communication will become telepathic in the next 10 years. Take a look.
You would be able to communicate very quickly and with far more precision, and language would, I'm not sure what would happen to language. But you could probably, in a situation like this, you would be able to just, it would be kind of like the Matrix. You want to speak a different language, no problem.
Right.
Just wire it or just download the program.
Well, you'll be able to interface with each other in some sort of a non-verbal, non-physical way, where you will transfer data back and forth to each other without having to actually use your mouth and make noises.
Exactly. So,
how many years before you don't have to talk?
If the development continues to accelerate, then maybe like 5 years, 5 to 10 years.
That's quick. That's really quick.
That's the best case scenario.
No talking anymore in 5 years.
Best case scenario. But 10 years more like it.
Elon also predicted that, in the future, we will be able to save our memories, just as we save a video game, and will be able to recall those memories anytime, including all the sensory experiences from the past. Check it out.
You could also save state. And
save state?
Save state, like save your brain state, like a saved game in a video game.
Whoa. Like...
Yeah, I mean, you could save state and restore that state into a biological being if you wanted to in the future. In principle, there's like nothing, like from a physics standpoint, that prevents this. Now, you'd be a little different, but then you're also a little different when you wake up in the morning from yesterday, and you're a little different. In fact, if you say like you 5 years ago versus you today, is quite a big difference.
Yes.
So you'd be substantially you. I mean, you'd certainly think you're you. You could recall everything, just like it's a movie.
Crystal clear.
Including all the entire sensory experience,
emotions, everything,
and play it back.
Well, if you thought that prediction was crazy, then wait for the next one, because Elon blew us away even more during the Neuralink presentation. In response to a question during the presentation, Elon stated that not only would we be able to save memories and consciousness, but we'd also be able to download that into a robotic body, meaning that death will become completely meaningless. Don't believe us? Well, take a look.
Another question from Twitter, will you be able to save and replay memories in the future?
Yes, I think in the future you'll be able to save and replay memories. I mean, this is obviously sounding increasingly like a Black Mirror episode. But yeah, essentially, if you have a whole brain interface, everything that's encoded in memory, you could upload. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. Then ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
Quite interesting, huh? At the World Government Summit back in 2015, Elon Musk predicted that humans will become a multi-planet species in the next 50 years. And ultimately become a spacefaring civilization very soon. Check it out.
I mean, I hope we are out there on Mars and maybe beyond Mars, the moons of Jupiter. I hope we're traveling frequently throughout the solar system, perhaps preparing for missions to nearby star systems. I think all of this is possible within 50 years. And I think that would be very exciting to do that.
Adding to this, Elon just recently stated that SpaceX will be able to land first people on the surface of Mars in the next 5 to 10 years.
When do you think SpaceX will land a human being on Mars?
Best case is about 5 years. Worst case, 10 years. Earth's been around 4.5 billion years, and this is the first time in 4.5 billion years that it's been possible to extend life beyond Earth. And that window of opportunity may be open for a long time, and I hope it is, but it also may be open for a short time. And we should, I think it was wise for us to act quickly while the window is open, just in case it closes.
Elon once again stunned the audience with his predictions when he spoke at the Governor's Summit. He predicted that automobiles will become fully autonomous in 20 years, and having a car with a steering wheel would be like having a horse. Check it out.
I think almost all cars produced will be autonomous in 10 years. Almost all. It will be rare to find one that is not in 10 years. That's going to be a huge transformation. But if you were to say go out 20 years, overwhelmingly things are electric, autonomous, overwhelmingly.
Fully autonomous?
Fully autonomous.
So no one will have to touch the steering wheel if there is one?
There will not be a steering wheel. In 20 years, it will be like having a horse. People have horses, which is cool. But
so having a regular car will be like having a horse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. And there will be people that have, you know, non-autonomous cars, like people have horses. It just would be unusual to use that as a mode of transport.
Yes. All right.
Elon has also made some astonishing predictions about artificial intelligence. He says that AI will exceed human intelligence by a substantial margin, and therefore we must make sure that AI development is properly regulated.
If you assume any rate of advancement in AI, we will be left behind by a lot. And so then, you know, even the benign situation, if you have if you have ultra intelligent AI, we would be so far below them in intelligence that it would be like, you know, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was thinking.
Like a pet.
Like
a cat.
Elon
like
the
a house cat. Yeah, it would be like the house cat.
Right.
And so if you have something, if we create some digital superintelligence that exceeds us in every way by a lot, it's very important that that be benign.
I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential. If humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully.
On another occasion, Elon stated that due to AI and autonomy, there will be mass unemployment as robots will be able to do almost everything much better than humans. Therefore, a universal basic income will be introduced and free money would be given to unemployed people.
But what to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary. There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. Now the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. Almost everything will get very cheap. I think I think we'll just end up doing a universal basic income. It's going to be necessary.
Anyways guys, if you want to see more interesting Elon Musk videos, click the video right above.